They tried to gang up on me with 3 players because I cooked their whole squad, and I had to let their bench know after I hit that 3-pointer to shut their asses up. I just want to say that Marina Mabre is a bum, and I own her. She shoved me like that was going to change the score. She was out there putting up Angel Reese stats with her 6 points and 8 me-bounds. She needs to relax.
Jacy Sheldon exploded after the WNBA finally punished Caitlin Clark's attacker, and that's no exaggeration. One eye poke, one brutal takedown, and the entire league went into chaos. The so-called punishment? Just a flagrant one. Sheldon was absolutely furious.
When you are good at basketball, you're pretty, and you got grit, those 3 things make you bad to the bone. And I think this is one of the new trends that's going on in the WNBA, in my personal opinion, is that not only will you be good at basketball, but you also, some of these women don't look like women, right? They used to look like dudes. But now they look like beautiful women that are playing basketball.
But is this really about one foul, or is something much bigger unraveling inside the WNBA?
What are your thoughts, I don't think we've asked you this, about the WNBA as a whole, the moment they're having right now, in Caitlin, and kind of this new era, seemingly, of women's basketball?
I love it. I love competitiveness. I think it's great for the game. I think when people watch basketball and they think of basketball being physical, being competitive, being a little chippy, they think about us. But I think W is just as competitive and maybe even more chippy. You know what I mean?
Something that could shake everything the league has built around Caitlin Clark. Because if officials thought a $2,000 fine was enough, they completely misread the room. It began as a normal play, just another defensive rotation between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. But when Jacy Sheldon stepped up to guard Caitlin Clark, things got ugly fast. Sheldon didn't just reach in. Her hand went straight toward Clark's face, poking her directly in the eye.
What really got this escalated, so that was called a flake.
The crowd gasped as Clark stumbled backward, clutching her face in pain. Yet there was no ejection, no warning, just a flagrant one.
The ball is so far away. Like, the ball is here! The ball is here! The ball is here! How did she double eye poker? The ball is here! Like, how did the referees watch this and come to the conclusion that it was a flagrant one? How did they come to the conclusion it was a flagrant, not a flagrant 2? Like, how did they come to the conclusion that it is a flagrant and not a flagrant 2? I would have had more respect if they said it was a no call, because they could at least feign ignorance.
A foul marked as unnecessary contact, but not enough to imply intent. That was it. For Sheldon, a $2,000 fine. You'd think it would end there, but it didn't. Moments later, Sheldon grabbed Clark's arm and, as slowed-down footage showed, appeared to dig her nails into Clark's skin.
And Caitlin Clark in this particular game kept complaining that she was like scratching her arm and complaining to the officials about it. And honestly, the entire game, they were jawing at each other, they were chirping at each other. Marina Mabre always on the side, coming to her teammates' defense.
Then, as Clark reeled, Marina Mabre came flying in, shoving her to the floor like it was a wrestling match.
As you guys can see here, Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because Jacy stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabre comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabre, bad out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark to the ground.
Clark wasn't just being fouled, she was being targeted, and no one was stepping in to protect her. Within hours, hashtags like #BanJacySheldon were trending. Fans flooded Sheldon's socials, calling it the dirtiest play of the season. One clip of the moment hit over 1 million views in a single day, captioned, "This isn't basketball, it's a disgrace." Even Jimmy Fallon asked on his show, "What's going on in the WNBA?" And fans echoed, "Protect Caitlin Clark at all costs."
What is going on? Protect Caitlin Clark at all costs, please. Enough of this. Please.
Dave Portnoy didn't hold back either, calling Sheldon and Mabre jealous loser punks. Late-night hosts and sports journalists compared the WNBA to WWE, saying the league was turning into a sideshow. And when Sheldon wasn't suspended, When the league just issued a fine and moved on, fans weren't just angry, they were outraged. Because this wasn't the first time. It's a pattern now. Clark being shoved, undercut, elbowed, and now poked in the eye again. Each time, referees look away, the league shrugs, and Clark is left to defend herself.
What's going on with the chip in his third? What explanation were you given for the tech that you got?
I'll take the official questions. There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game, it's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition.
But here's why that's a massive problem. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie. She's the face of the WNBA. According to finance expert Dr. Ryan Brewer, Clark accounted for 26.5% of the league's total economic activity in her first season. That's one player driving more than a quarter of the league's revenue. Let that sink in. The Indiana Fever went from low attendance to selling out arenas overnight, all because of Clark. Their franchise value skyrocketed from $90 million to $340 million in a single year. She's not just selling tickets. She's smashing records, moving merch, and pulling in viewers who never cared about the WNBA before. Yet she's being treated like a disposable rookie, shoved, poked in the eye, and left unprotected. Fans are furious, asking, would the NBA ever let this happen to LeBron James or Steph Curry? If someone blindsided LeBron, poked him in the eye, and slammed him to the floor, would that player still be in the game? Exactly. But then the unexpected happened. Jacy Sheldon snapped. After the punishment was announced, Sheldon stormed off the court, slammed her water bottle, and refused interviews. Sources close to the team say she was overheard saying, "This is a joke. They're throwing me under the bus." To Sheldon, it wasn't just a fine, it was a public character hit. She believed the league made her a scapegoat to protect their golden ticket. And maybe she's not wrong, because now Sheldon is trending for all the wrong reasons. She's being painted as the villain, the cheap shot artist, the symbol of everything wrong with how the WNBA treats its stars. And she's not the only one lashing out. Other players remain silent publicly, but behind closed doors, resentment is growing. Some believe the league bends everything around Clark, from calls to coverage. In Sheldon's eyes, the league is picking sides, and it's not hers. Meanwhile, fans are turning up the pressure. One online petition demanding Sheldon's suspension and salary dock gained 25,000 signatures in just 48 hours. Others tagged NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, begging him to step in since, quote, the WNBA commissioner won't. Fans want more than suspensions. They're calling for multi-game bans for flagrant acts against star players, automatic ejections for hits to the face, fines tied to salary percentages instead of flat fees, and public referee accountability reports. Some even suggest that fines should be paid directly to the victim, in this case, Caitlin Clark. Because the current system clearly isn't working. And if the WNBA keeps ignoring it, fans say they'll stop watching altogether. This isn't just about Jacy Sheldon. It's not even just about Caitlin Clark. It's about whether the WNBA will protect the one thing keeping it alive. If this continues, if Clark gets seriously hurt or decides she's had enough, the league won't just lose a player, it'll lose its biggest star, its biggest revenue engine, and possibly its future. And Sheldon has now become the lightning rod for all of it. Her outburst confirms what fans have suspected. Locker rooms are divided, players are tense, and the league is playing with fire. The WNBA is at a crossroads. One path leads to stricter rules, better protection, and a stronger future. The other leads straight into chaos, where stars like Clark walk away, fans tune out, and sponsors back off. Right now, everything hangs in the balance. So the real question is, will the WNBA step up before it's too late? This isn't just basketball anymore. It's personal, political, and high-stakes business. So is Jacy Sheldon truly the villain here, or just the latest casualty of a league that's lost control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're fired up about how this league is being run, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because trust me, the drama's only just beginning.
All right, you guys, we need to talk. I just finished the Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun game. That was a wild one. That was so unexpected. Everything got spicy. Everything got negative.
Nobody saw this coming. What should have been a heated WNBA matchup exploded into one of the wildest brawls of the entire season.
So yesterday, the Indiana Fever played the Connecticut Sun. It was a basketball game, but the basketball of it got way overshadowed by other elements.
It all began when Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark took a brutal eye poke from Jacy Sheldon. But instead of calming down, the game spiraled completely out of control. Sophie Cunningham stormed in, launching a shocking attack on Sheldon in the final seconds. What happened next stunned everyone. Multiple players were ejected, referees faced historic fines, and chaos erupted across the court.
Wow, is Mabry gonna stay in this game?
Now the entire league is under fire. Some are calling it the ugliest moment of the year. Others say it's just the beginning. What really went down on that court? And why is the WNBA issuing its harshest penalties ever? Let's break it all down.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Clark, guard for the Indiana Fever.
Gets bumped, will take, and hit from 3.
The Indiana Fever entered this game fired up. They'd been battling through a rough stretch of the season, and Caitlin Clark had been taking more hits than any rookie should have to endure. Opponents were getting physical, some would say too physical. Tensions were already sky high when the Fever hit the court. The first few minutes set the tone. Hard fouls, trash talk, and players bumping after whistles. You could feel the frustration boiling, and Clark was right in the middle of it all. The league's biggest star, targeted yet again. But no one saw what was about to happen next. Midway through the game, in a tense moment, Jacy Sheldon got tangled up with Clark. Suddenly, Sheldon reached out and poked Clark directly in the eye. The crowd gasped. Clark winced in pain, clearly shaken, as cameras caught her wiping her eye and trying to shake it off.
I think in the face. That's what Clark didn't like.
But this wasn't an ordinary foul, and everyone in the building knew it. The fans felt it. The players felt it. The entire energy inside the arena shifted in an instant.
As you guys can see here, Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because Jacy stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabry comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabry, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark to the ground.
Indiana's Marina Mabry didn't hesitate. She charged toward Sheldon and gave her a hard bump, sending a clear message. The Fever weren't backing down. Officials rushed in to regain control, but the momentum had already changed.
Caitlin Clark in this particular game kept complaining that she was like scratching her arm and complained to the officials about it. And honestly, the entire game, they were jawing at each other. They were chirping at each other. Marina Mabry always on the side, coming to her teammates' defense because we all know Marina Mabry. But really, the boiling point was Sophie Cunningham's hard foul on Jacy Sheldon. And I truly think that this was a message that she was sending to the leagues, to the officiating, just like to everybody, because it is, if you are watching any of these games, you are seeing that there is a disparity in the way that it's being officiated, and the Indiana Fever are held to a standard that no other team is.
From that point on, every possession felt like it could erupt into another fight. With less than a minute left in the game, things finally boiled over. Jacy Sheldon drove hard to the rim for a layup, but before she could finish, Sophie Cunningham came flying in and absolutely took her down.
Comes up with the steal. Coast to coast, and here we got another.
It wasn't subtle. Cunningham's arms were up, and her body slammed Sheldon to the hardwood. The entire arena erupted.
Trash talk had been happening everywhere. Technicals, flagrants, all this stuff had been happening. And as Jacy Sheldon was running down the court for a fast break layup, Sophie Cunningham grabs her and hard fouls her. I think this was Sophie. This was the last 46 seconds of the game. They were up by a lot, so I think it's a possibility that Sophie was trying to send a message to the league, to the officiating, to everybody that, listen, like, the Indiana Fever have had enough, and this is what's going to happen.
Players sprinted toward the scene. Coaches were shouting. Fans were on their feet, some cheering, others in total disbelief. It looked more like a boxing match than a basketball game.
Let me see a combo, though. Ooh.
The referees scrambled to separate the chaos. After several tense minutes, the officials made their call. Sophie Cunningham, Jacy Sheldon, and Lindsay Allen were all ejected from the game.
Wow, is Mabry going to stay in this game?
The crowd was stunned. 3 players tossed, and plenty more could have been. Social media exploded within minutes. Fans called it one of the dirtiest moments in recent memory. Clips of the brawl flooded TikTok and X, racking up millions of views. One viral post even joked, might need to replace the hardwood with a boxing ring after this one. But the fallout was only beginning. The WNBA quickly reviewed the footage and took action.
Now, after this, you guys, of course, the referees are going to review the play because that's a lot of contact going on right there. That's a lot of unnecessary contact. That's a lot of non-basketball contact happening during this play, right? So the 3 referees that I like to say, they got them straight out of Sephora because I don't think these referees have ever refereed a professional basketball game in their life. They took these referees, they were at the monitor, they looked at it for, I'm not even exaggerating, you guys, like 15 minutes. 15 minutes they are watching this play over and over.
After watching the play over and over, the league made its move. Referee Blanca Burns was hit with one of the harshest penalties ever, a massive fine and public criticism for losing control of the game. Cunningham and Sheldon were both fined and suspended. Other players involved in the melee also faced penalties, and the league's reputation was suddenly under fire from all sides. Some fans argued the WNBA waited too long to act. Others said players had no choice but to fight back after weeks of uncalled fouls and rising tensions, especially with Caitlin Clark being targeted game after game. Even commentators were split. One ESPN analyst said, "The WNBA can't afford another moment like this. It's making headlines for all the wrong reasons." But the bigger question now, has the league truly lost control? Because one thing's for sure, with Clark still taking hits every week and players like Sophie Cunningham ready to fight back, this won't be the last time we see fireworks on the court. So where does the WNBA go from here? Fans are still debating what really sparked the chaos. Was it the refs losing control? Players crossing the line? Or a league that's failed to protect its brightest star, Caitlin Clark? One thing is certain, tensions are still boiling, and the next matchup between these teams is already being called must-watch TV. Will players tone it down, or are we heading for another explosion on the court? And how will the league respond if it happens again? Because if the WNBA can't stop the targeting of Caitlin Clark, and if players like Cunningham keep taking matters into their own hands, this season might just be getting started. Stay tuned.
This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition.
The WNBA has lost control of the Caitlin Clark hate, and it's spiraling fast. What started as tough, physical basketball has now turned into dangerous targeting, on-court attacks, online abuse, and players taking cheap shots with zero consequences. And the league? They're just letting it happen.
Is anybody on this team gonna stand up for Caitlin Clark? Jacy Sheldon grabbing Caitlin Clark all game, clawing at her. It's like tonight was a brawl, folks. Tonight was a brawl, and I'm sitting, I'm like...
Game after game, Clark is the target. Her coach is furious. NBA stars are speaking out. Even the media is now asking if the WNBA has completely lost control. With every hit and every missed call, the league's reputation takes another blow. Fans are turning on the WNBA. Sponsors are watching closely. And here's the scary part. If this keeps going, it could destroy everything Caitlin Clark has built for the league. So, how did it get this bad? And can the WNBA even stop it now? Let's break it all down.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Clark, guard for the Indiana Fever.
Gets bumped, will take, and hit from 3.
This is no longer about one game. It's not about one fight. The WNBA's Caitlin Clark problem has become a pattern, and everyone can see it.
JD McCoy, Caitlin Clark, does she have a target on her back? Yes, she does. But that's okay. You know, it's funny, man. I think when we talk about women's basketball, it's like we separate it from other sports, right? From football, from basketball, NBA, and we shouldn't. She come in the league with so much hype, and she deserves it.
The targeting of Clark started in her rookie season, but now it's reached a dangerous new level. Just look at the numbers. Over 17% of all flagrant fouls this season have been committed against Caitlin Clark.
17% of the WNBA flagrant fouls this season have been committed against Caitlin Clark.
Hey.
Ocho.
Yes, sir.
17% of the WNBA flagrant fouls have been committed against Clark. The Chicago Sky were responsible for 80% of the flagrant fouls committed against Clark. But you know what, Ocho? It's the great white hype. There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. Hey, there were some women. I ain't gonna call y'all names. Y'all had a lot to say. Y'all even tagged me. Why y'all tag?
And that's only the ones that get called. Game after game, Clark is getting hacked, grabbed, shoved, and more often than not, the referees let it go. It's not just bad officiating, it's a league-wide failure. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White said it best, this has been happening all season long. It's a league-wide issue.
What's going on with the chip is there, and what explanation were you given for the tech that you got?
I'll take the official questions. There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game. It's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition.
And when coaches are calling out the league in post-game interviews, you know something is seriously wrong. Because this isn't just physical basketball anymore, it's hate. The hate toward Caitlin Clark has become the biggest story in the WNBA, and it's growing out of control. On-court attacks like the recent eye poke and body check, players targeting Clark game after game, and online, the abuse is just as bad. The WNBA's leadership has failed to stop it. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has stayed silent. The referees are losing control of games. And now, it's turned into a full-blown PR disaster. Fans are calling the league a circus. NBA legends like Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Paul George have all spoken out, defending Clark and criticizing what's happening to her.
Even in my Minnesota days, man, I've always taken a loyalty to all the players that's on the team. And yeah, man, it helps confidence, it helps continuity, and then too, for that to be your best player, you gotta protect the best player.
And fans are starting to lose faith in the league. But here's where it gets even worse. The WNBA's failure to act has forced Indiana Fever players to take matters into their own hands. Sophie Cunningham has stepped up as Clark's unofficial enforcer. Game after game, Cunningham is sending a message to the rest of the league, touch Clark and deal with me. And it's working, but it's also escalating the spectacle.
And eventually, Sophie Cunningham had enough. Oh yeah. Sophie Cunningham had enough, folks. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham. We wanted somebody like this that said, I'm tired of this. I'm trying to step up. It's time to step up. We're not going to get punked anymore. We're not going to get pushed around anymore. We're not going to get treated like a little sister anymore, like a little brother anymore. We are going to start being the ones that say, you know what? We're not going to start the fight, but we damn sure will finish the fight.
But the league's failure is doing more than hurting ratings. It's dividing fans. The WNBA's refusal to fix officiating has fueled a culture war. Now, it's not just Fever fans against other teams, it's Caitlin Clark fans against the WNBA itself. And that's the worst possible outcome, because when your biggest fan base is rooting against the league,
right? If you look at this, the viewership, right? People ain't just watching WNBA just to watch it. They're watching it because of Caitlin Clark. Yes, sir. And I'm guilty of it because I'm one of them guys. Oh, is Caitlin playing today? I'm watching it. Oh, she's hurt? I'm not even tuning in.
you've got a real problem. The WNBA created this mess, and now they may not be able to stop it. The targeting of Caitlin Clark is no longer an internal issue, it's a national conversation. Media, fans, and NBA stars are all watching how the league responds. And right now, they're not responding at all. The hate keeps growing. Every game adds fuel to the fire. With each cheap shot and every no-call, more fans turn against the league, more voices speak out, and the WNBA's reputation takes another hit. The truth is simple, the league needs Caitlin Clark. Without her, ratings drop. Attendance drops. The entire business of the WNBA depends on her success. But if the league keeps letting this hate spiral out of control, it risks losing everything she's built. And here's the terrifying part. If Clark gets injured again, if another attack sidelines her, the damage could be permanent. So now the question isn't whether the WNBA has lost control of the Caitlin Clark hate. They already have. The real question is, can they take it back before it's too late? Musical note.